The scene, Roberto Hernandez Stadium here on the University of South Carolina Aiken's campus. The characters, USC Aiken Pacers versus Shepherd Rams for Game 2 of this 3-game set. Pacers took the first game by a decisive 9-4 victory. They'll look to try to take the series here in this middle game and then possibly go for the sweep if they do pull off the win tomorrow on the 12th. On the mound, the Pacers have Joey Benitez making his second start of the year. And he'll face the leadoff man, Jacob Carney. As the players get back into their position after warm-ups, Marcus Johnson here all by myself up in the press box, bringing you the action for today's game. Thank you for joining us for this USC Aiken ball game presented by Willie Jules Barbecue. And Benitez deals the first pitch, which is a strike, and we are underway. The 0-1 fouled off in the count 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and a strikeout to start things off.
The center fielder, number 2, J.J. Sardi.
That'll bring up J.J. Sardi, the center fielder. Sardi is going to be followed by Ron Farley in the 3 spot. Daniel Helene will be the DH for today's game. He's batting cleanup. Mike Brown, the first baseman, batting 5th. As that pitch misses outside for ball 1. Chase Hoffman, the third baseman, bats 6th, followed by Tyler Thomas, the catcher, batting 7th. Tyler Piccolo getting the starting nod at shortstop. He will bat 8th, and Brenton Doyle, the right fielder, finishes things off in the 9 spot. And an even count of 1-1 to J.J. Sardi. That one's going to be a hopper. Off Pereira's chest, is going to bounce away. And that'll allow Sardi to reach first safely. And they will mark that a base hit for Sardi.
The left fielder, number 9, Ron Farley.
That'll bring up Ron Farley. And a little check lob over to first base before we have a pitch to the plate. Ball in the dirt. However, Connor Durden, the catcher for the Pacers, able to keep it in front of him. Speaking of the defense, over at first base, we have Brian Pereira. Skylar Mercado is at second, with Dalton Weeks getting the nod at third. Tyler Ammerman is at short to finish off the infield. And the outfield, pretty much the same. Mitchell Price over in left. Jose Bonilla over in center field. And the right fielder, and we got a stolen base attempt. Here's the throw over to second from first, and it is not in time. Call is safe, so it'll be a stolen base for J.J. Sardi. A little check throw over to first. Thought they might have had him as he started going, but the throw from Pereira, not in time, where the tag was missed by, I believe it was Ammerman, the shortstop. Either way, chalk that up as a stolen base for Sardi, and they have a runner on second base with only 1 out. Swing and a miss, evens the count at 1-1. And And with the outfield for the Pacers, once again, Mitchell Price over in left, Jose Bonilla in center, and the right fielder, Luke Westerberg. A 1-1 count to Ron Farley. Another stolen base attempt, and unable to come up with a clean transition on the ball was Durden, so that'll be another stolen base. And just like that, the Rams playing very aggressive here, trying to get a runner into scoring position for a pop fly. And the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, evens the count at 2-2. Strikeout here would be big. It would take the sac fly out of the equation. Ground out possibly be big as well if they can hold the runner at third. Grounder to third. They'll let the run score and just throw it to first, which is in time for the second out.
The designated hitter, number 25, Daniel Helene.
So with that, the Rams take an early 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning as the DH Daniel Helene comes up with 2 outs and nobody on base. First pitch is a call strike to make the count 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss for the strikeout and the third and final out. So 4 batters up, 1 makes it home, and it's a 1-0 game as the Pacers coming up in the bottom of the first, trailing 1-0. And welcome to the bottom of the first inning. Pacers in an unfamiliar spot as they trail 1-0 against the Shepherd Rams. Jose Bonilla will lead things off for USC Aiken. So Bonilla digs in as he gets ready to face off against Joe Rendon, the starter for the Rams. And Rendon deals a first pitch strike to Bonilla. Tyler Thomas is the backstop for the Rams. Over at first base, we have Mike Brown, who's made some nice plays this series. Second baseman, Jacob Carney. Over at third, Chase Hoffman. And the count even at 1-1. Shortstop for today's game is Tyler Piccolo. And in the outfield, we have Ron Farley in left. Center fielder is J.J. Sardi, as we now have a 2-1 count to Bonilla. And last but not least, Brenton Doyle over in right field. Two-one, liner into left, and that'll drop in front for a base hit. Bonilla off to a good start, putting the leadoff man on for the Pacers, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Luke Westerberg.
Luke Westerberg.
Speaking of good defense, Luke Westerberg has some nice catches out there this year. Season's still young, and we'll see if he can keep that up. So Westerberg digs in with a runner on first base and nobody out. Tried to check his swing, unable to as the ball was in the dirt. And the count 0-1. And the runner goes Bonilla on his way. And there will be no throw from Thomas, so that'll be a stolen base for Bonilla. So both the Pacers and the Rams trying to play the same game early on here. Now a runner on second base and a 1-1 count to Luke Westerberg. And Westerberg, a hopper over to third, and that'll go foul. And the 1-2 pitch in the dirt evens the count up. Here's the 2-2. Check swing, ball will roll foul, and it'll waste a pitch. And a call of time here from behind the plate just before the pitch gets delivered. There's the 2-2. Fouled off, and we'll do it over again. Once again, the 2-2. Misses outside and count full. And the 3-2 pitch Misses low and away, and Westerberg will draw the walk.
The left fielder, number 1, Mitchell Price.
That brings up Mitchell Price, who just last night was only a home run shy of the cycle. Earned our Broadcaster Award of Offensive Player of the Game alongside Zach Moon last night. And now he has runners on first and second and nobody out. Bottom of the first inning of a 1-0 game. Pitch just a little bit inside, and the count 1-0. That'll be lined straight to second. They'll throw to second base for the out. And that's a double play. Unfortunate for the Pacers. And just like that, there's 1 on and 2 down.
Designated hitter number 14, Zach Boone.
And Zach Moon coming up the DH for the Pacers with 1 on and 2 out. First pitch to Moon is in there for a call, strike 1. Moon hit a 3-run blast yesterday. Again, co-recipient of the Broadcasters Award. Of course, that Broadcaster Award doesn't really mean anything, and just get a little bragging rights for the rest of your teammates. And the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Got Zach Moon on a curveball, and the count 0-2. O2 pitch high and outside, and the count 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. It's going to get away, and Westerberg heads down to second base and will make it there without a throw. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second base, bottom of the first inning. Zach Moon at the plate as the Pacers trail the Rams 1-0. Just missing outside. Zach Moon laid off of it in a wise decision, and the count full, 3-2. And the 3-2 pitch popped up, foul territory down the first base side, and that one will go out of play. Once again, the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Moon down on strikes to end the inning, and the Pacers will leave one stranded as we go into the top of the second, 1-0 Rams. And we're in the top of the second inning. Mike Brown will lead things off for the Rams as they lead the Pacers 1-0. First pitch to Brown. Fastball misses outside for ball one. This time he comes inside with it and finds the corner of the plate, 1-1. That'll be lined into left field and drop in for a base hit. Once again, the Rams putting a man on first base. Last time they did that, a couple stolen bases later, and a ground ball resulted in a run. Now Chase Hoffman comes to bat, the third baseman. And the first pitch falls into the strike zone, 0-1. Check throw over to first, just to keep him close. The 0-1, grounded up the middle. Snagged by Mercado, flips to second for one. The throw to first, the scoop by Pereira is good for the second out.
The catcher, number 28, Tyler Thomas.
That'll bring up Tyler Thomas with nobody on and two down. Right down the middle on the first pitch for strike one. Inside part of the plate this time, 0-2. Popped up into foul territory along the right field side, and that'll land into the Rams. Now actually just past the Rams bullpen. Not that it really matters, it's a foul ball regardless. Once again, the 0-2 pitch. This is low and away in the dirt. I'll make the count 1-2. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss, but the ball's going to get away. And it doesn't look like Durden's going to be able to track it down in time. So a strikeout and advances on the wild pitch, or pass ball, however they want to score it. So I'll put a runner on instead of 3 out. They're still going to work with 2 outs.
Shortstop number 17, Tyler Piccolo.
That brings up the shortstop, Tyler Piccolo, with a runner on first and 2 down. Hopper, and that's going to go over the third baseman's head, Weeks, and into left field for a base hit. Rams taking advantage of that extra out they've been given and putting 2 on with 2 down.
Fielder number 22, Brenton Doyle.
That brings up Brenton Doyle. Grounded, up the middle. Dive by Ammerman, gets it, but everybody's going to be safe. Throw over to third, however, is in time as the runner wandered a little too far off the bag, and Tyler Thomas gets caught drifting for the third and final out. So with that, the Pacers will go into the dugout still only trailing 1-0 on a heads-up play by Tyler Ammerman to get it over to Weeks as we go into the bottom of the second inning. And we go to the bottom of the second inning where the Pacers trail the Rams 1-0. Brian Pereira, who's getting the start once again at first base. He'll lead things off here in the second. First pitch is outside for ball one. So the Pacers gave the Rams an extra out on the strikeout and the unable to throw him out call, as Pereira lines one into the gap in left center field, and that one will drop in for a base hit and go off the wall. Pereira heads in for second base, and he will be in there with a stand-up double to get things started.
The shortstop, number 8, Tyler Ammerman.
And Ammerman digs in now, gets ready with a runner on second. As you were saying, they gave them an extra out with the advancing to first on the wild pitch on a strikeout. However, at the end of the inning, Tyler Thomas, the one who did advance, ends up getting thrown out, wandering a little too far off third base on a base hit. So no harm, no foul, as they say. And the Pacers are getting to work early here with a runner on second and nobody out. First pitch down the pipe for strike one. The 0-1. Curveball missing low, evens the count at 1-1. One pitch right down the middle and the count 1-2. Ball in the dirt. Thomas able to keep it in front of him, and that'll keep Pereira right where he is at second. Count 2-2 to Ammerman now. And misses outside, count full. And the 3-2 pitch, swing and miss by Ammerman, and he goes down on strikes for the first out.
The catcher, number 30, Connor Durden.
That'll bring up Connor Durden. That's going to get away and go back to the mound. Pereira's heading for third, but he's not going to make it there in time as the ricochet went far enough for Rendon to pick it up, and now Pereira gets thrown out heading for third. So a couple of unfortunate events and some lucky hops in back-to-back innings have allowed the Rams to put the leadoff man away quickly after he gets on base. And now it's 2 down and nobody on, and a 1-0 count to Connor Durden. And the 1-0 misses away, count 2-0. Grounded into right field for a base hit.
The third baseman, number 44, Dalton Weeks.
That'll bring up Dalton Weeks with a runner on first and 2 down. First pitch to Weeks. Curveball in the strike zone for strike one. Check throw over to first. And stuttering over was Durden. He made it back safely. Yo, 1. Grounder to second. They'll flip it over to second base for the third and final out. The Pacers unable to score once again. They still trail 1-0 as we go into the top of the third inning. And we are in the top of the third inning of Pacer Baseball presented by Willie Jules Barbecue. Pacers trail the Rams 1-0. As the top of the order, Jacob Carney comes up, struck out his first time up. First pitch inside for ball one. Second pitch finds the strike zone to even the count at 1-1. That misses outside, 2-1. He'll find the corner of the strike zone there and the count 2-2. Pitch misses outside, count full now at 3-2. Foul tip and we'll do it all over again. That one will be line foul as well, spoiling yet another pitch from Benitez. 3-2. Grounder. Past Pereira, and that will go into right field for a base hit.
The center fielder, number 2, J.J. Sardi.
J.J. Sardi coming up to bat now. Singled, stole a pair of bases, and eventually came around to score. And he represents the only run scored thus far. So runner on first base and nobody out for Sardi. Check throw over to first. Now we'll pitch to the plate. Just missing outside. Count 1-0. Another check throw to first. Benitez almost flirting with a balk as he almost looks like he's stepping slightly towards home plate. I'll have to watch that because the umpire may not be so lenient next time. The 1-0. Misses outside. Durden keeping an eye on the runner at first in Carney. The 2-0. That'll find the strike zone. Count 2-1. Benitez checking again at first. Two-one pitch. Fly ball into deep center field. Bonilla having to go back for it. He's watching it, and that one will be gone. A 2-run home run for J.J. Sardi, and just like that, the Rams lead it 3-0.
The left fielder, number 9, Ron Farley.
Now Ron Farley coming up with nobody on and nobody out. And first pitch fouled back for strike one. A 1 pitch. Just misses inside, evens the count 1-1. That'll be grounded to short. Hammerman has it. Throw to first is in time for the first out.
The designated hitter, number 25, Daniel Helene.
I'll bring up the DH, Daniel Helene. Helene struck out his first time up. First pitch finds the strike zone, count 0-1. Swing and a miss. Count now 0-2. Another swing and a miss, and down on strikes for the second out goes Helene.
The first baseman, number 35, Mike Brown.
I'll bring up Mike Brown. Singled his first time up. And he fouls off the first pitch for strike one. Grounder to third. Weeks has it. Plenty of time to throw to first. Almost draws Pereira off the bag, but he keeps his foot on, and that'll do it for the top of the third. But a 2-run home run from J.J. Sardi makes it a 3-0 ball game as the Pacers are in the hole going into the bottom of the inning. And we enter the bottom of the third inning. Pacers trailing 3-0 against the Shepherd Rams. Skylar Mercado will lead things off, the number 9 hitter, making his first appearance at the plate. And he shows bunt, pulls it back. Doesn't matter, it's a strike anyway. Second pitch misses low and away, evens the count at 1-1 to number 1-1. Popped up. Shallow center field. That'll be caught by the second baseman, Carney, for the first out.
Center fielder number 4, Jose Bonilla.
That'll bring up the top of the order, and Jose Bonilla singled, stole a base, and then got thrown out on an unfortunate line-out double play shortly after. First pitch to Bonilla is a swing and a miss for strike one. The 0-1. This is low, and inside evens the count at 1-1. Ball low and away and all the way to the backstop, 2-1 the count. Two-one pitch. Outside, 3-1. Tried to hold up. They'll appeal. And the field ump says he did go around, so the count full at 3-2. So a 3-2 count to Bonilla. That one misses high and away, and Bonilla will head on down to first on the walk.
Right fielder number 23, Luke Westerberg.
Luke Westerberg comes up. First plate appearance, he walked. Now he's got a runner on first with one out. Wouldn't be surprising if we see Bonilla try to steal. Try to get something going for the Pacers. However, a lot of the hops have not gone their way today, so it wouldn't surprise me either way if he stayed or went. First pitch to Westerberg fouled off for strike one. The one pitch in the dirt. And he gets away from Thomas, but Bonilla stays right where he is. Check throw to first. Bonilla dives back safely. 1-1 pitch to Westerberg. Curveball falls into the strike zone. Count 1-2. And the pitch to Westerberg. Lined into center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Pacers trying to get something going here as they have runners on first and second with one down here in the third. And Mitchell Price, a man who can hit it anywhere in the ballpark, including out of it, coming to the plate. Price lined into an unfortunate double play. Lucky for the Rams, they caught it in the air, and just a quick flip to second. Got the double play and took the wind out of the Pacers' sails early in that first inning. Pitch in the dirt. Thomas unable to see it. And the Pacers hesitated a little too much on the bags, and they were unable to take advantage of it. Rolled right behind the umpire. And Thomas had no clue where it was. And the 1-0. Blooper into right field, and that'll drop just foul. Diving for it was Doyle in foul territory, just out of the reach of his glove. Had that actually been fair, safe to say Doyle would have caught that, so you may be able to say Price dodged a little bit of a bullet there. The count even at 1-1 to Mitchell Price with 1 out and 2 on. Pitch inside, 2-1. Two-one pitch, swing and a miss. Price chasing one upstairs and count even at 2-2. Two-two pitch popped up, foul territory, first base side. That'll land out of play. Two-two. Spoils it by just catching a piece of it. Keeps everything right where it is. Grounded right back to the mound, and it's going to bounce awkwardly. That'll be a fair ball, and Price makes it safely to first base. Like I said, he can hit it anywhere in the ballpark, and he did just that, right back to the mound, nice and hard, and unable to corral the ball was Rendon, and it just kept rolling away from him. And that'll load up the bases for the Pacers, and the home run threat, Zach Moon, comes to the plate. Zach Moon, once again, the All-American ball player. For solid base hit will get the job. As we have a meeting on the mound here. They're checking on Kalis to get you all the discounts outside for. That'll off of it, and it's 2-1. Grounder as it looks. And welcome back, folks. Technical difficulties on our end, but we are in the top of the 4th inning. And leading it off for the Rams, we have Chase Hoffman. Grounded into a double play his first time up. And now he draws a walk to start things off here in the 4th.
The catcher, number 28, Tyler Thomas.
That brings up the catcher, Tyler Thomas. Thomas struck out but reached thanks to a wild pitch. So he's got a runner on first and nobody out, actually. Check throw over to first. Hoffman makes it back safely, though. That pitch fouled off, count 0-1. Another check throw to first. And the 0-1. Ball low and away. Count 1-1. One pitch. Inside corner. 1-2. And the 1-2. That'll be a base hit into center field. That puts runners on first and second with nobody out.
Shortstop number 17.
And once again, the Rams are in business here in the 4th. I'll bring up Tyler Piccolo, singled his first time up. And a call of time here before the first pitch is thrown. And a show of bunt pulled back as the pitch misses outside for ball 1. The 1-0. Another bunt. Bounces right in front of the plate and rolls backwards. And the count 1-1. One pitch, bunt shown again. Bounces right back to the mound. They're going to throw it to third for 1, and that's all they'll get, but they do get the leadoff man with that. That'll keep 2 on with 1 out. Runners on first and second.
Right fielder, Brett Doyle.
That brings up Bretton Doyle, who singled his first time up. However, he was the last out as the Rams wandered a little too far off third base and got thrown out. Foul tip That'll be strike one. Oh, 1 pitch finds the strike zone. The count 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that'll do it for Brenton Doyle as he goes down on strikes for the second out.
The second baseman, number 29, Jacob Carney.
That'll bring up Jacob Carney, top of the order. 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. So he was on base when J.J. Sardi, the man on deck, hit a 2-run shot. And he pops it up into shallow left field. Price coming on and making the catch for the third and final out. So Pacers get into a little bit of trouble early on, but eventually sit them down 1-2-3 as we go into the bottom of the fourth inning. Still 3-1 Rams. And welcome to the bottom of the fourth inning. Marcus Johnson here, bringing you the live action of this Rams-Pacers ball game as the Rams lead the Pacers 3-1. Tyler Ammerman leading things off, and he takes first pitch ball here in the fourth. That'll find the strike zone, and the count 1-1. Right down the middle there, count 1-2. One-two pitch fouled off, spoiled, and we'll do it over. And the 1-2. Curveball just misses inside. If I were Ammerman, I may have wanted that to be called a strike, and then he can hustle down to first. But regardless, it's a 2-2. Another foul ball keeps the count right where it is. That's a fly ball. Deep center field. It could have a chance. It is gone! A solo home run for Tyler Ammerman, and the Pacers trail by 1. Tyler Ammerman hit that one all the way to deep center field, the deepest part of the ballpark, and it's a 3-2 ball game. And with that, we'll have Connor Durden up. Durden singled his first time up. First pitch outside part of the plate for strike 1. That one just a bit outside, count 1-1. Swing and a miss as Durden was aiming for the fences there, and the count 1-2. Curveball misses outside, Durden laying off of it, and the count 2-2. Two-two pitch inside, and the count full to Durden. Fouled off. And we'll repeat the count. Foul tipped into the glove of Thomas for the first out.
Third baseman, number 44, Dalton Weeks.
Brings up Dalton Weeks. Grounded into a fielder's choice to end the second inning his first time up. Curveball falls into the strike zone on the inside part of the plate, and the count 0-1. Almost the same part, but just a little bit too far inside, and the count 1-1. Another fences swing there from Weeks as he got tied up on an inside pitch, and the count 1-2. And they'll say he went, and he's going to have to hustle on down the first as the ball goes all the way to the backstop. The throw draws him off the bag, and Dalton Weeks will be safe. He thought he held up on his swing. He didn't, and it actually turned out to be a good thing as Dalton Weeks makes it safely to first base on the wild pitch. Sure, on the stat sheet, it will be a strikeout, but he's on base, and the Pacers have something going here. Skyler Mercado digs in with 1 on and 1 out. That one down the first base side, but just a bit foul. So the count 0-1. The 0-1 to Mercado. Right down the pipe in the count 0-2. Mercado flew out his first time up. He's trying to at least tie this ball game up, and if he gets a hold of one, give the Pacers the lead as they trail 3-2 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Curveball comes at his head. He's able to duck out of the way, though, and the count 1-2. Foul tipped into the glove once again, and that'll be another strikeout for Rendon. So 3 strikeouts, but they still got one more out.
Number 4, Jose Bonilla.
As Jose Bonilla steps to the plate. 1 on and 2 down. Bonilla 1 for 1 with a walk, a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. First pitch outside corner for strike 1. And a call time here as we await the 0-1 pitch. That's a liner into right field. That'll be deep. Not quite enough to be gone, but it's off the wall. They're going to wave the runner around third base. The throw comes into the cutoff man. Here's the throw to the plate. It is not in time, and it is a tie ball game on the RBI by Jose Bonilla. An RBI double for Jose Bonilla ties this thing up at 3-3 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And Luke Westerberg comes up with a runner on second and 2 down. Westerberg 1 for 1 today. Single and a walk. Curveball misses high for ball 1. The 1-0. That'll find the strike zone to even the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on second base for Luke Westerberg. That one outside, 2-1. That'll be grounded to second. A little trouble handling the ball, but he recovers, throws to first for the third and final out, but the Pacers tie it up thanks to a solo home run by Tyler Ammerman to lead things off, and then an RBI double by Jose Bonilla. We're tied 3-3 going into the top of the 5th inning. And we're in the top of the 5th inning, all tied up at 3 runs apiece. As J.J. Sardi will lead things off for the Rams. Sardi 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, a single, and a 2-run home run. So he's having quite a game himself. As the first pitch to Sardi is in there for strike 1. The 0-1, and that'll hit him. So Sardi heads on down to first base after getting hit by the pitch to lead things off.
Left fielder number 9, Ron Farley.
Ron Farley coming up. 0 for 2, but he does have an RBI. Check throw over to first. And the runner goes. The throw to second, not in time. A stolen base for J.J. Sardi once again. That gives him 3 today. So 1 ball, no strikes, and now a runner on second base for Farley. And this pitch will find the strike zone to even the count. And one runner goes again. This time they may have him in a rundown. They'll throw it back to second base. And he slides off the bag and gets caught. This time they do get him as he tried to get greedy for third base. And with that, there'll be 1 out and nobody on. So now the 1-1 pitch to Farley. This is outside for ball 2. That's a line drive into right field. That'll be a base hit. So Farley aboard with 1 out. That'll bring up Daniel Helene, the DH. Helene 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. And with that single, that just shows you how important that pickoff was for the Pacers. As there's a good chance that with Sardi's speed, he would have come around to score. Actually, if he had made it to third anyway, he would have scored. And the first pitch to Helene is in there for a call strike. The 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Just missing outside, count 1-2. Another check throw to first. So count still at 1-2 with 1 out and 1 on. Benitez still on the mound for the Pacers. Another check throw to first. They may have him, and they do. They pick him off over at first base for the second out. Now there are 2 outs and nobody on, and a 1-2 count to Helene. Just a little bit outside, trying to get into the chase. A good pitch, nonetheless. Not the result he wanted, and count 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got ahead of that one, and that'll do it here in the top of the 5th inning. It's still tied up 3-3 as the Pacers coming up to bat. And we enter the bottom of the 5th inning of the Pacer ball game presented by Willie Jewell's Barbecue. I'm Marcus Johnson. Thank you for joining us. It's 3-3 as Mitchell Price digs in to lead things off. And a curveball misses high for ball 1. And misses low for ball 2. 2-0 count to Mitchell Price, who's 1 for 2 today with a single. And he fouls that one back. Count 2-1. And the 2-1 popped up behind the plate, and now it'll go out of play. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss, and Price goes down on strikes to start things off here in the 5th.
Designated hitter number 14, Zach Moon.
That'll bring up Zach Moon. 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. Curveball finding the outside corner for strike 1. The 0-1. This time it comes inside, and the count 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. This one just a bit high, count 1-2. That ball in the dirt. And that'll even things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Moon. Just missing inside. I think Moon sold that a little bit, and the count full. Three-two pitch. Spoils it, and we'll do it over. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Zach Moon at the plate, and nobody on. Bottom of the 5th inning. It's still tied up 3-3. Fouled off again. And Moon trying to stay in there. At bat with a few defensive swings. Once again, the 3-2 pitch. Inside, and Moon a walk. Another moonwalk for the season for Zach Moon. And that'll bring up Brian Pereira. 1 for 2 with a double. First pitch just a bit high and inside, ball 1. The 1-0. In the dirt. And Moon looking like he's playing a little mind games with Thomas behind the plate. He's dancing around over there at first base. Not much of a threat to steal once again. Only 4 stolen bases, all back in 2015. But you never know. He could make a run for it. But it's a 2-0 count to Brian Pereira in the meantime. High and outside, 3-0. Three-0 pitch. That one's high, and Pereira walks on 4 straight. And after the walk, Tyler Ammerman to the plate. Ammerman homered his last time up, making him 1 for 2. So 2 men on, runners on first and second with 1 down for Ammerman. A pitch right down the middle for strike 1. One curveball missing low and away. I'll even things up at 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss by Ammerman. And the count 1-2. And just getting a piece of that is Ammerman as he puts it into the Rams dugout. Count stays 1-2. Curveball falling into the strike zone, and down looking goes Ammerman for the second out. So Rendon doing some work here. Has 7 strikeouts on the night. So he is locked in with his location. We're going to have a meeting on the mound for just a moment as Connor Durden comes to the plate. And while they talk, we'd like to thank Tyler's Tire and Auto Center, located off of Whiskey Road. Head on in there if you ever have car trouble or you just need a little checkup. And the South Carolina Education Lottery, where you're not only taking a chance but giving a chance to a worthy cause. And finally, Quality Inn and Suites, located just a stone's throw away from the campus of the University of South Carolina, Aiken. Stop on in there if you ever need a visit or if you just need a nice, relaxing night of sleep. So 2 on and 2 out for Connor Durden as he digs in. 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. He's got Zach Moon and Brian Pereira on base. First pitch way outside, and the count 1-0. And the 1-0. Outside again, 2-0. Two-0 pitch fouled off. Making it 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's tied up 3-3. Another foul ball evens the count. Two-two pitch is a swing and a miss. And Durden goes down on strikes for the 3rd and final out. And the Pacers will leave 2 stranded as we go into the 6th inning, still tied at 3. And we enter the top of the 6th inning of this USC Aiken ball game presented by Willie Jules Barbecue. Mike Brown to lead things off for the Rams as it's all tied up at 3 runs apiece. Brown 1 for 2 with a single. And he'll let that one go by for ball 1. And the 1-0. Missing outside, 2-0. Both of these pitchers amassing impressive strikeout totals, 8 and 7 respectively. I'm sorry, 8 and 8 respectively. Both of them have 8 strikeouts. It is 8 strikeouts for Rendon and 6 strikeouts for Benitez. Impressive either way. And walking on 4 straight pitches is Mike Brown to get things started here in the 6th.
Third baseman number 23, Chase Hoffman.
Chase Hoffman coming to the plate now for the Rams. He'll have a runner on first. 0 for 1 as he grounded into a double play and walked. First pitch missing low for ball 1. The 1-0. Grounder to short. Harriman has it. Flips to Mercado for 1. The throw to Pereira. Good. And in time for the second out. So a double play will make it 2 down here in the 6th.
The catcher, number 28, Tyler Thomas.
That brings up Tyler Thomas. 1 for 2 as he struck out and reached base back in the 2nd and singled his last time up. First pitch in there for strike 1. And the 0-1 pitch inside corner, 0-2. Fouled off, and we'll do it over. Last inning was an unorthodox or uncommon 1-2-3 inning as he put the first 2 men on and then picked them both off and then striked them out to end things as we have a base hit into center field by Tyler Thomas.
The shortstop, number 17, Tyler.
I was saying, he hit the first batter back in the 5th inning, who then stole a base and then was caught trying to steal. And then Ron Farley, who got a single the next time up, ended up getting picked off, and then finally he struck out Daniel Helene to end the inning. Now he's got a runner on first base with 2 outs for Tyler Piccolo and a pitch out for ball 1. Piccolo 1 for 2, singled, and reached on a fielder's choice. Now working with a runner on first base and 2 down. And Piccolo hits a fly ball into center field. And Bonilla makes the catch for the 3rd and final out. So a 1-2 base hit 3 inning for USC Aiken as we go into the bottom of the 6th. It's still tied, 3 runs each. And we enter the bottom of the 6th inning, all tied at 3 apiece. Brandon Hovel comes from the bullpen to relieve Joe Rendon, who had a solid outing, 8 strikeouts and only 3 runs. And the count even at 1-1 to Dalton Weeks, who leads things off for the Pacers. And the count 1-2 now. 2 Weeks. Weeks 0 for 2, grounded into a fielder's choice. Struck out, but reached on that strikeout and eventually came around to score as the check swing fouls that one off to keep the count at 1-2. Just a little too low, and the count even at 2-2. That's lined into center field, and that'll be a base hit for Dalton Weeks. Leadoff man aboard for the Pacers here in the 6th, and Skyler Mercado to the plate. Mercado 0 for 2 so far. And the runner goes. That's going to be lined into right field, and that's going to be a fair ball in the corner. They're going to wave the runner around. Weeks heading for home. The throw into the cutoff man, and it will be no play at the plate. It's an RBI double for Skyler Mercado, and the Pacers lead it 4-3.
The center fielder, number 4, Jose Bonilla.
And Jose Bonilla coming to the plate. 2 for 2. A single, a stolen base, an RBI double, a walk, and a run scored. He is all over the score sheet today. And he comes up with a runner on second and nobody out as the Pacers finally lead it 4-3. And Bonilla hits one deep to left field. That's going to be caught for the first out. And it looked like Mercado wanted to tag up and head for third, but the ball came in quickly from Farley, and he'll stay right where he is. That brings up Luke Westerberg. 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. He'll ground that one to short. Piccolo throws his special beam cannon over to first for the second out.
Left fielder number 1, Mitchell Price.
And that'll bring up Mitchell Price. Price 1 for 3 today with a single. And he's got a runner on third base as that ground out allowed Mercado to advance. And he hits a fly ball into right field. And that one is going to be off the wall. It'll be a base hit with extra bases as Price rounds second. And he will stop there at second base. An RBI double for Mitchell Price. And the Pacers now lead it 5-3.
Designated hitter number 14, Zach
And Zach Moon coming to the plate now. Moon 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a walk. He's got a runner on second with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch high and outside to Moon. Count 1-0. And the 1-0. Just a little bit outside. Moon lays off of it, and the count 2-0. Lower part of the strike zone there, and the count 2-1. And the 2-1. Line into left field. That'll be just a half a foot foul. Almost a fair ball, and it would have been trouble, and certainly would have scored Mitchell Price from second. However, the count now 2-2 as Price makes the trek back to second base. And the 2-2 to Moon. Fly ball, center field. Tracking and making the catch is Sardi for the third and final out, but the Pacers do enough damage to take a lead. It's 5-3 as we go into the top of the 7th inning. And we are in the top of the 7th inning. It's a 5-3 ball game as the Pacers lead it after a 2-run bottom of the 6th. Leading things off for the Rams, Brenton Doyle, 1 for 2 with a single. And the first pitch is a bit outside. Count 1-0. That time the pitch will find the strike zone. The count even at 1-1. Just misses the outside part of the plate. Count 2-1. Benitez still out there for the Pacers. And that one just a bit outside as well. Count 3-1. Pacers have one man warming in the bullpen. As that one misses inside. And Brenton Doyle will lead off the top of the 7th with a walk.
Second baseman, number 29, Jacob Carney.
And Jacob Carney, the top of the order coming up. Carney, 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. He has a runner on first base and nobody out to start things off in the 7th. Check throw over to first. Doesn't have that much of a quick pickoff move, but it got the job done once. He does have one pickoff. Pickoff of Ron Farley back in the 5th. And a show a bunt here, pulled back as the pitch is high for ball 1. Another check throw over to first. Brenton Doyle makes it back safely. The 1-0, bunted, down the first base line, and it's going to roll just foul. That rode the line for as long as it could, and by half a centimeter, it rolled foul. So count even at 1-1 now. Runner still on first base. The 1-1 runner goes, bunted, back to the mound. Benitez throws to first to get the out, and that's all they'll get as the sac bunt is successful, moving Doyle down to second.
The center fielder, number 2, J.J. Sardi.
That brings up J.J. Sardi, who's having quite a game. 3 stolen bases, a 2-run home run, a single, and 2 runs scored. And Kenny Thomas is coming out to the mound now. And it looks like he's going to go to his bullpen, so we're going to take a short break. It's 5-3 here in the top of the 7th with 1 man on and 1 man out. And after 5 1/3 innings, Benitez will be relieved by Blake Cantrell of the Pacers. 1 on and 1 out. As the first pitch from Cantrell misses for ball 1. J.J. Sardi to the plate, having a hot night. Once again, 2 for 2 with a hit by pitch, 3 stolen bases, 2 runs scored, and a 2-run home run. And a swing and a miss there, evens the count at 1 and 1. Pitch misses low and away, count 2 and 1. Swing and a miss, count even at 2 and 2. And another swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes J.J. Sardi for the second out.
The left fielder, number 9, Ron Farley.
That'll bring up Ron Farley. 1 for 3 with a single and an RBI. That pitch will miss in the dirt for ball 1. The 1-0 to Farley. Also missing in the dirt. Count 2 and 0. That's going to get away from Durden, and that will allow Brenton Doyle to move over to third. So now a runner sitting on third for the Rams, as Farley has a 3-0 count. Out a bit high, and walking on 4 straight pitches is Farley to put runners on the corners.
The designated hitter, number 25, Daniel Helene.
And Daniel Helene steps to the plate with runners on first and third, 2 down. Here in the top of the 7th inning of a 5-3 game led by the Pacers. In the dirt. Cantrell struggling to find the strike zone as of late. Struck out the hot hitter, J.J. Sardi, but has since thrown 5 straight balls. The 1-0. Just a little bit high. Not a bad pitch, actually. The count 2-0. Just a little bit outside, and the count once again 3-0. Pacer crowd trying to motivate Cantrell here. This time it goes right down the middle for strike 1. Dan Helene at the plate, 0 for 3 today. And he'll foul that one off and the count full. Check swing. They'll try to appeal it here. And the field ump makes the right call as Helene held up and draws the walk to load the bases here in the 7th.
First baseman, number 35, Mike Brown.
And we're going to have a short meeting on the mound. Once again, this broadcast being brought to you in part by Willie Jewell's Barbecue. Every dish is served with a side of Southern hospitality, so come on in and tell them PacerSports.com sent you. The bases are loaded. Here in the top of the 7th inning, Blake Cantrell on the mound. He will be facing off against the first baseman, Mike Brown, in just a moment. Pacers have a narrow lead of 5-3, which could vanish with just one swing of the bat. Mike Brown 1 for 2 today with a single and a walk. First pitch from Cantrell, just missing outside for ball 1. The 1-0. Outside corner, count 1-1. Foul back, count 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded, 5-3 here in the top of the 7th inning. Another foul tip and we'll do it over. One-two pitch. Fouled off again. Brown staying in there with some defensive swings. One-two pitch, just missing outside, trying to get him to chase. Good pitch, though. Count 2-2. Two-two pitch. That's lined into right field, and that will be caught for the 3rd and final out. So Cantrell works himself into a jam and works himself right out of it again to preserve the 5-3 lead as we enter the 7th inning stretch with the Pacers leading it. And the 7th inning stretch concludes and the bottom half of the 7th begins. Brian Pereira will lead things off for USC Aiken as they lead this game 5-3 over the Shepherd Rams. Pereira 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. In from the bullpen, Ryan Panch in relief now of Brandon Hovell. And the first pitch to Pereira outside corner of the plate for strike one. The 0-1 a bit low. Evens the count at 1-1. Inside, just missing. Nice movement on that ball, and the count 2-1. And Pereira swings at that one high and outside the zone. Evens the count at 2-2. The 2-2 from Panch. Misses low, count full. And Pereira crushes one deep to right field. It is going to be caught for the out. Pereira got a nice hold of it, just not quite enough. And he goes down for the first out. And that will bring up Tyler Ammerman, who did get a hold of one to deep center. Back in the 4th inning for a solo home run, making him 1 for 3. All or nothing, as he has that home run with 2 strikeouts. And he fouls the first pitch off for strike one. That's in there for a call strike, and the count 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. That'll be in there for a call strike 3, and down looking goes Ammerman for the second out.
The catcher, number 30, Connor Durden.
That brings up Connor Durden. 1 for 3 with a single and a pair of strikeouts of his own. And he's going to ground one through the second base side into the outfield for a base hit. That'll make him 2 for 4 today.
Baseman number 44, Dalton.
And it keeps the inning alive for Dalton Weeks. Weeks 1 for 3 with a single, reached on a strikeout, and a pair of runs scored. First pitch to Weeks misses low and away for ball 1. The 1-0. Curveball falling back into the strike zone, evens the count at 1-1. Ball in the dirt. Blocked by Thomas, and that will keep Connor Durden from advancing. Here's the 2-1. Outside corner, 2-2. And a swing and a miss from Dalton Weeks as he goes down on strikes for the third and final out. So the Pacers will leave one stranded, but they still have that 5-3 lead as we go into the top of the 8th inning. And we enter the top of the 8th inning. Marcus Johnson, thank you for joining us here on this Pacer baseball broadcast brought to you by Willie Jules Barbecue. Pacers leading 5-3. And a swing and a miss from the leadoff man, their baseman, Chase Hoffman. Out from the Pacer bullpen, Hunter Dolander. And Dolander working an 0-2 count to the Rams' third baseman. And the 0-2. High and outside, 1-2. Low and outside, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Lined into center field. That will be a base hit. That'll be picked up by Bonilla, keeping it from going to the wall and possibly being extra bases. But the leadoff man is aboard for the Rams as Tyler Thomas comes to the plate.
The catcher, number 28, Tyler Thomas.
Thomas, 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. And he fouls off the first pitch for strike one. The 0-1 Inside corner, strike 2. High and inside, 1-2. So Dollander able to get a couple of quick first strikes in both of his batters. We'll see if he's able to get a strikeout here. Now it's going to be popped up. Gap of left center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. So back-to-back base hits put runners on first and second for the Rams as Tyler Piccolo comes up. No, we're actually going to have a pinch hitter. Brandon Kirk will pinch hit for Tyler Piccolo. Kirk, who started the game yesterday at shortstop. And he comes in with runners on first and second and still nobody out. Aces finding themselves in another jam. And Dollander steps off the rubber to send the runners back to their bags. Show a bunt here, pulled back as the ball is outside for ball 1. The 1-0. Another show a bunt, high and outside, 2-0. That bunted down the third base side. Picked up by Weeks. Throw to first is good for the first out, but the runners advance to second and third, and now the Rams are working something here with 2 on in scoring position and only 1 out.
Right fielder number 22, Brenton Doyle.
So runners on second and third for Brenton Doyle. 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. First pitch in there for strike 1. And the 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Foul back, do it over again. And the 0-2. In there for a call, strike 3. And down looking goes Doyle for the second out.
The second baseman, number 29, Jacob Carney.
That will bring us back to the top of the order with Jacob Carney. Carney 1 for 3 with a single, a run scored. Still runners on second and third, this time with 2 outs, so safe to say a single will possibly score both of them. And it's popped up. Shallow left field. Price coming on. And it's going to be Tyler Ammerman making the catch for the third and final out. So Pacers work out of yet another jam to preserve their 5-3 lead as we go into the bottom of the 8th inning by that score. Pacers due up. And welcome back to USC Aiken Baseball, presented by Willie Jewell's Barbecue.
Pinch hitter number 10, John Banks.
John Banks coming into the game now for the Pacers. He will take the spot of Skylar Mercado. And he foul tips the first pitch for strike one. The 0-1. Misses inside. Evens the count at 1-1. Low and away. Count 2-1. Foul tip, 2-2. The 2-2. Grounded, foul down the first base side. The 2-2 to Banks. Low and away, count full. Three-two pitch. Fouled off. We'll do it over again. Once again, the 3-2. Just a bit low, and Banks will draw the leadoff walk.
The center fielder, number 4, Jose Bonilla.
And Jose Bonilla coming up now. Bonilla, 2 for 3 with an RBI double, a single, a stolen base, a walk, and a run scored.
Pinch runner for the Pacers, number 2, Freddie Beeman.
And Banks comes into the game and immediately exits the game as the Pacers will pull out a pinch runner with Freddie Beeman taking over at first base. And a bunt here from Bonilla. He's got the speed, but it's going to be off of his glove and out of it. And Bonilla will be safe as he heads for second base. What looks like a routine toss to first turns out to be an error, and Bonilla moves all the way over to second base as Beeman heads over to third.
Right fielder, number 23, Luke Westerberg.
That will bring up Luke Westerberg. Westerberg 1 for 3 today with a single and a walk. Now he's got runners on second and third and a chance to add some insurance here to this Pacer 5-3 lead. Curveball missing high for ball 1. The 1-0. This time the curveball falls into the strike zone and the count 1-1. And the 1-1. Bit high, 2-1. Swing and a miss. Count even at 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Fouled off, and we'll do it again. Once again, the 2-2. And that one will also be spoiled. Just a bit high, and the count full to Westerberg. Foul tipped into the glove for the strikeout and the first out.
Left fielder, number 1, Mitchell Price.
That will bring up Mitchell Price. Price 2 for 4 today with a single and a double and 1 RBI. Got runners on second and third with one out. And they're going to intentionally walk the all-conference Mitchell Price. An interesting move here considering you have the All-American Zach Moon on deck. And you don't have anywhere to put him. That happened earlier in the year where they walked Price and then they intentionally walked Moon to load the bases. However, they actually had a base open, so this will be an interesting move. We'll see if it pays off. It does put the double play into effect, the conventional double play. And Mitchell Price will head on down to first. And with that, the bases will be loaded. And we are going to have a possible pitching change here. Conference on the mound. Don't see anybody coming out from the bullpen, so it looks like they're going to stick with Panch for Zach Moon. Zach Moon 1 for 3 today with a walk and an RBI single. And Panch will stay in there for the Rams. Bases loaded for Zach Moon, 1 out. Bottom of the 8th inning, 5-3 Pacers lead it. Still anybody's ball game, but the Pacers with a chance to do some damage here. And a call of time here before the first pitch to the plate, as Moon digs right back in. First pitch low for ball 1. And the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Moon wanted the fences there, but he's going to get an even count of 1-1 instead. The 1-1. Fouled off, 1-2. Low and away, even at 2-2. Moon showing discipline and laying off that. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded. Zach Moon at the plate. Bottom of the 8th inning. And that's high, and it's a full count to Zach Moon. And the 3-2 is just a bit high, so Zach Moon will walk, and that will drive in 1 run. The Pacers lead it 6-3.
The first baseman, number 32, Brian Pereira.
And that'll bring up another threat in Brian Pereira. He gets a hold of one, he can send it flying. He almost did earlier on in the game. It was actually last inning in the 7th that he sent one flying, only to be caught by Doyle out in right field. He's got the bases loaded with only one man down. Chance to add to the Pacer lead. First pitch just a bit outside for ball one. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Another fences swing from Brian Pereira, and the count even at 1-1. The 1-1. Inside, 2-1. Two one. Grounder. Through for a base hit. That'll score one run. They're going to wave Mitchell Price around for home. The throw will be cut off, and Price is in as well. That's a two-run single for Brian Pereira, and the Pacers lead it 8-3.
The shortstop, Tyler Ammerman.
That brings up Tyler Ammerman, 1 for 4 with a solo home run. All the way back in the fourth inning, he's got runners on the corners, however, with only one down here in the bottom of the eighth inning. And Ammerman swings and misses at the first pitch for strike one. Swing and a miss again, strike two. And the 0-2. Grounder to second. Throw to second for one. The throw to first is in time for the double play. But the Pacers get a few more as they lead it now 8-3 going into the top of the ninth, trying to close things out. And we enter the top of the 9th inning. Pacers leading 8-3 thanks to a 3-run bottom of the 8th to add some insurance. Mitch Spence will try to close things out for USC Aiken as J.J. Sardi steps to the plate. 2 for 3. Productive day for him. And the first pitch will miss for ball 1. And the 1-0 popped up into left center field. Bonilla waves him off and makes the catch for the first out.
The left fielder, number 9, Ron Farley.
That brings up Ron Farley. 1 for 3 with a walk, a single, and an RBI. First pitch low and away for low and in the lower corner for strike 1. That's going to be a base hit past the diving shortstop Ammerman. And the Rams will have 1 on with 1 out here in the 9th.
Designated hitter, number 25, Daniel Helene.
And Daniel Helene comes to the plate, 0 for 3 with a walk. Curveball finding the strike zone for strike 1. This time the curveball missing outside evens the count at 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Fouled back and out of play. Curveball missing high, 2-2. That one's going to be lined over to second on a hop. Mishandled by Mercado, and that's going to be, that's actually Joey Smithers. And that will allow Daniel Helene to reach safely.
The first baseman, number 35.
And they will mark that an error on Joey Smithers, the new second baseman. So runners on first and second with 1 out for Mike Brown. Grounder to short. Flip to second for 1. The throw to first is in time for the double play, and that will do it here from Roberto Hernandez Stadium. The Pacers win Game 2 of the 3-game set versus the Shepherd Rams by a score of 8-3 on 13 hits and 1 error to the Rams' 12 hits and 1 error, so pretty even in that category.
For the Rams, J.J. Sardi with a 2-run homer in the 3rd and 3 stolen bases.
As for players of the game, Mitchell Price will earn the offensive honors with the go-ahead hit, and which turned out to be the game-winning RBI double. He also managed a single and an intentional walk, which he came around to score on, so productive day for him. However, we cannot discount J.J. Sardi of Shepherd, who had an impressive performance himself with a 2-run home run, 2 runs scored, and 3 stolen bases on the day, going 2 for 4. Defensive honors, believe it or not, will also go to Shepherd. Joe Rendon, who had an 8-strikeout night over 5 innings, will earn the defensive honors of the day. So the Pacers come up with the win, but the Rams get a couple of accolades from the broadcast booth. We'll be back in action tomorrow, February 12th, as we finish off the 3-game series versus the Shepherd Rams at 1 o'clock p.m. here at Roberto Hernandez. Until then, I'm Marcus Johnson. Thank you for joining us, and have a good one.